super fucking proud of that.
What does that mean?
It's a euphemism for clitoris.
Ah, no, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
That's why you didn't. Okay. Yeah, they say that the clit is the man in the boat. And like it was dad jokey, but that was the whole that was what was so great about it.
Yeah. We are live, by the way.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
You gotta tell me, man. I gotta.
We're on YouTube at least. Our voices are. Our faces are not yet.
Oh. So people can complain about me breathing too loudly again.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think that's outputs too. Let me unmute this. Check. Check.
Check.
Check. Put volume turned all the way down on that. That would be why. Check. Hey, yeah, that's working great.
I wonder if a Facebook page can go live.
Yeah, you can broadcast live on Facebook. Or, the page itself. I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, here we are. I don't see anything.
Shooting the shit for the moment. Hey, we're up another 2 likes. I don't know that you can through a page. No, yeah, you can, because I've seen the real McKenzies do it. I just got to figure out how.
Matthew Wilkes is in the Discord, but not online right now.
Message him. Of course, it's probably pretty late over there right now. Yeah, we can go live.
Oh, hey, here's Teddy Roosevelt. I guess I can move him. Hey, Teddy Roosevelt, can you hear us?
Hey,
Hey,
I had
what's
a
up,
question
man?
about your. I had a question.
Go for it.
Are you guys still doing door giveaways?
Say that again?
Door giveaways. www. Spam Hitler in the chat.
Okay. Well, that was pointless.
Yep.
Funny, but pointless.
Yeah. So thanks for that. That was really helpful. Now though we know that the thing's working. So
Yeah.
Just go ahead and I need.
You know, I used to love it when people would do that to Tom Green.
Yeah.
4chan would like call into his show all the time and just blast
Just
the
fuck around with him.
Yeah, he would get like really mad. Maybe we should post this link to B. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not? It'd be a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to get spammed with everything horrible, completely racist, just whatever.
Yeah.
But it could be amusing. Excuse me.
That's also why I made the show CallIn a private channel, so only I can log into it.
Ah.
Well,
I just went live.
I think you can log into it too. And show CallIn can log in, or the stream recorder can log into it, but I can't kick anyone right now. So, how about that?
Trying to lure in Josie Cushman, who's one of our listeners from Facebook.
Ah.
Adam Nash says in. Oh, Adam Nash. We're going live. Okay, we're live now.
Howdy.
I don't know if anyone can hear anything. Let's do this. Just to make sure people can hear things. We're doing a call-in show. Call in.
Yeah, there's a YouTube link posted, and then through the YouTube you can join the Discord and you can come tell us your issues.
I don't know if anyone's actually. I don't think anyone's actually watching yet, though. It takes a little while. I'll just set that down. Tell you what, go log on to the Facebook. Well, you're not a part of the Dick Show group. Never mind.
Nope.
I was going to say, share this.
Nope. I also can only access Facebook through the computer. There's one person watching right now.
Hello, one person watching.
How about that?
Who is it?
Doesn't say.
Well, one person watching. If you're not that dude that just called in, call in. Or if you are that dude that just called in, call in again and say something relevant.
Cogent. No, I kicked him from the thing.
Okay.
I thought maybe he thought he would like hurt our ears or something, but that didn't work out for you, buddy.
Nah, we have audio equipment that solves that problem. I'll back that away. There we go. Timing is a little weird too, because we're at a prime time for East Coast users.
Yeah.
But people like on the West Coast, it's what, about 5 o'clock right now, so they're just now getting off work.
I've got a double compressor on my mic. I forgot about that.
Interesting.
Because I can compress inside of the interface too.
Should get Dick to call in.
I've asked him a couple of times.
I mean, like right now. Maybe like, hey, asshole, get get in your studio.
Oh, he needs like at least 3 days of lead up. Johnny Steen is here.
Hey, Johnny Steen.
Do.
Did you ever watch? Oh, sorry.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I need to.
Man.
I watched like 6 episodes of Star Trek today. If that counts for anything.
You got all this time, but you're not finishing your book. How's your book doing?
No, I've been working on it. It's doing pretty good. I need to post chapters to Patreon because I haven't been doing that, but I have been writing them.
I need to. I've been circling the drain on the idea of writing a book. Here's what I don't get book.
Yeah.
I had the idea back when Joel was on the show. I pitched him a couple of ideas. Hey, we have one person watching on the Facebook Live. Hey, what's going on? So the idea I had was I was going to call it the Obama years and just write rants about things that I didn't get from that time period. But I'm not as politically minded as I once thought I was.
Well, we got 2 people in the Discord right now. Put on a mask and give yourself a fun look. Tap the magic wand to try one. God,
no.
Facebook is cancer.
It really is.
We got 2 people in the Discord. Maybe they're going to call in with some issues.
That'd be nice.
Get this fucker started.
The joys of not advertising early enough.
Yeah. Or there's always the possibility that they just troll it, which is also fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'd even take some more of that. Someone just call in and just tell us how bad we suck.
Or that we're fat. That's another good one. You just tell us that we're fat.
So when I pulled that clip out and I put that on the Facebook and the YouTube, the 2 main guys that do that just had a heyday.
Oh, yeah?
They're like, but we still don't get why fat people are fat. And I was like, what?
What's there not to get? Are you fucking stupid?
I was like, so I reiterated. It took me a little bit to realize what was going on. I was like, I reiterated the point. Like, I eat too much and I don't exercise. That means calories accrue and they go around my belly. Josh Capozillo, are you the only one watching? Looks like it so far. Why don't you call into the Discord, buddy?
Yeah, there's a YouTube link in the chat. There's also a Discord link. You can just call in and tell some of your issues.
Yeah, man.
We didn't prepare any issues for this episode, so we're really hoping that someone will call in with something.
You see, if we'd have really gotten this entrenched in people's heads, he says, okay, just a sec, he's coming on. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's great.
If we'd have done the groundwork to prepare for this, like 3 or 4 days in advance, like normal people would.
Well, we announced on the last episode that we were going to do a call-in episode this week.
That came out like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Well, it's not my fault.
But we didn't give any specifics.
Yeah.
So next time, this is a lesson learned. This is what Dick Masterson was talking about, not putting your whole ass into something. This is why
when I text you, like, can we record Tuesday last week? And you just didn't respond to that question.
Well, I was going to respond immediately, and I was like, well, wait a second. Let me find out what the situation is. And when I found out what the situation was, it was like yesterday. I was like, well, we already weren't going to record Sunday.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I assume Tuesday's just going to work, so I'm just going to show up at Tab's house unannounced and assume, like any normal asshole, just assume that everything's going to work out, and on a wing and a prayer. But that's how anyone does anything.
We got another person now. Hello, Satinshi.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'm that guy who was on Facebook.
Hey, it's Josh from Facebook.
Awesome.
What do you not get this week?
Okay. Why people just keep giving me a job? I don't know. I just got an official job offer today, so I'm happy about that.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's great.
You want to divulge what it is?
Oh yeah, mechanical engineer for Newport News Shipbuilding.
Oh, very nice. Newport News is a beautiful area.
Never been there.
Oh, you're missing out.
You should come up and visit. Have a drink with me. Have a drink on me.
Yeah, my family's originally from Virginia Beach, so I've been up there several times. It's actually cheaper to fly into Newport News than it is to fly into Norfolk, which is funny.
Oh, really? Well, there are a bunch more flights out of Norfolk, so that's where I'm like flying out of when I'm flying places in a month.
There you go.
No.
Got anything else you don't get? Anything that just really makes you angry, burns your biscuits?
Oh my god, I'm trying to think because I came in completely unprepared. I did record like a brief thing I don't get while driving the other week. It was I was on like how other people get or become a rage or how they just get pissed off because I have a tendency of being, I don't know, complacent or just not being irked by the same things as other people.
Yeah, I don't really get that either. People just fly off the handle about small things like having to pay money to get your stupid air compressor to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. You say something, and the next thing you know, it's got legs of its own. People just run with it.
I can see that, though. People that fly off the handle, just, in regular life all the time, how that could be annoying.
Some guy walking through Walmart, and someone asks him an innocent question, and he screams at him for 10 minutes.
Seriously, I just like going about my life, perfectly fine mood, maybe slightly irritated, but it's not, I guess, in my habit to just, like you said, fly off the rails.
But the thing about it is that's also very cathartic. And sometimes, here's what I'm discovering. When we started doing this show, I was a lot more timid than I am now. And I was a lot more reluctant to do just that at someone, to just like let it go and tell someone exactly what I thought. For one, because I would just get bound up. Like all the stuff would try to come out of me at once, and I would just go, and then you look like a gibbering asshole. So one of the things this show has done for me is it allows me to flow a little more easily.
Yeah.
And what happens is the more I get mad about things, and see, I do this in my car too. I'll get mad about something, or in my forklift at work. I'll get mad about something, and I'll have this imaginary screaming session at someone. It happened today. I was, because of a thread that happened in a Facebook group, and someone said something that really pissed me off, and I yelled at this person on Facebook, and then today I got mad about it again, and I yelled at the steering wheel on my forklift for like 30 minutes in this long-winded, disjointed diatribe. But now I can also do that at a person who's standing there.
Yeah, I yell a lot. Like I'll be at home and I'll read a news story and I'm just like, "Ah!" And I'll just scream into the apartment for no reason.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's very cathartic. And it feels good whenever you realize that you've ruined someone's day by just completely flipping your shit on them, because they deserve it.
They do deserve it.
Like, man, I don't know if it's getting into my 30s or something. A lot more of my dad comes out in me. And so someone will fuck something up, and where in my 20s and my teens, I would be like, well, everyone just needs to try and understand. He's doing the best he can. Everyone has a bad day. And now I'm like, no, you forgot my fries? Pay the ultimate price. Where's my hat and shades, motherfucker? Now I'm going to stand here in front of God and everybody in Zaxby's and yell at you and embarrass you in front of, and I hope your mom is watching right now, because I'm going to scream at you and just make you feel lower than dirt, lower than whale shit, which lives at the bottom of the ocean. And I'm going to take that peace and joy from you. That's what I get out of it. I'm like a vampire.
Well, it's a very useful skill to have too.
Oh yes.
Like I said, I started doing a little bit of that. Like I said, I recorded like just a brief here's what I don't get, because there was a thing I didn't get in the car the other week, and I've had a long drives because I've been going between DC and here just to visit friends and stuff.
You cut out there, Josh.
Oh crap. I've been going between here and DC every few weekends to visit friends. So I get bored in long drives, and so I'll just kind of start talking, and a lot of that is just yelling at things or kind of just going through things that are bothering me.
That's the way to do it, man.
It's starting to feel much better than just kind of ignoring it and going on with life in an entirely non-confrontational manner.
Yeah, you see, I did that for so long. I just tried to please everyone and never rock the boat, and never make anyone feel bad. And the first step is what you're doing is when you learn to articulate what's bugging you. You see, the thing is, when you're doing this, you're also learning how your mind works. You're learning the way you think and the things that trigger you.
Yeah.
And so then whenever you realize when someone does something, we just recorded this week's episode a little while ago, and one of the stories was I went to Little Caesars and they asked me for my phone number, and I flipped my shit on this girl who was just doing her job, but I understood that the reason I was triggered was because there's no reason they needed my phone number, and this is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And so I screamed at this girl in front of God and everybody, and it felt great. Because I understood the point I was trying to get across. Now she understands the point I'm trying to get across. And now maybe I've improved her life a little bit by making her think twice about asking me for my phone number ever again.
I highly doubt that. She's probably just thinks you're an asshole. Anyway,
She probably got fired.
She's gonna cry every time she asks someone else for their phone number.
Good! That's the way it needs to be.
thanks for calling, Josh. We're gonna bring in our next guest. That was a great one. You have a good night. I'm gonna move you back to the waiting room.
Thanks again, buddy.
And here we have Sherlock. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
You know.
We got a gating issue here.
Yeah. Turn down your gate or switch yourself to push to talk because you're kind of cutting off there.
Oh, I'm on push to talk. Maybe I'm letting go of it too soon.
That sound is great. What's your issue this week, Sherlock?
So, you ever buy a bag of candy? It's really good, like gummy worms or something.
I love gummy bears.
Gummy bears, gummy worms. You get a bag and they're delicious, right?
Yes.
And then another week or so from then, you're like, oh, want some gummy bears. You go to a random store, buy another brand, and it's shit.
Yo, yeah.
Absolute shit.
Like Haribo? Do you like Haribo?
I kind of like them sometimes.
I'm not a big fan of the Haribo because they're too hard. They're not gummy.
They're really, really hard to chew, yeah, but they do taste good.
Yeah, some people like them more because they're not squishy.
I like the flavor, but man, my molars are so bad because I grind my teeth all the time that those things hurt my teeth severely. It's terrible. I need to go to a dentist, but I'm broke.
Yeah, I bought a bag of these watermelon slices recently. You know those, delicious, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They taste. They're supposed to be sour, but it's just sugar sprinkles, and the gummy themselves just taste like gummy.
Just gelatin. Just sugar and gelatin.
Sour? No, they're sour watermelon slices, dude.
So was there any citric acid on it? To the powdered citric acid to make it sour?
Let me check here. I don't think so. I don't taste anything sour.
That really sucks. Yeah, having bad candy, because especially when you get to be an adult and you like convince yourself you shouldn't eat as much of it, and then you finally like cave and you buy yourself a box of
and then you're excited about it.
And you're excited about it, and you're like,
And then it sucks dick.
Then you're like, I'm reevaluating my whole life. This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Why did I even... Now you feel like an asshole.
You are an asshole.
Because you're like, man, I somehow convinced myself that this was a good thing to do, and now I'm just wrong. Nothing to show for it. I'm just wrong.
I probably eat more candy than I should, and what I've learned is stick with Sour Patch if you want sour candy. You can't go wrong with Sour Patch Kids.
If you like your stuff that sour.
Yeah, I guess.
So you ever like shoot the rest of the bag after you've eaten all the little patch kids? You just eat the rest of the stuff?
Oh, sometimes, yeah. I did a lot when I was a kid. I used to really eat really, really sour candy, but now that I'm like older, I can't handle it as much anymore, so...
What about it can't you handle? Like flavor-wise, or does it mess your belly up?
Oh, the sourness. It hurts my tongue.
Okay. When I was a teenager and I first started driving, I bought a bag of gummy worms, I guess, and I left them in my car in the North Carolina summer. So when I came, and the top was torn, but fortunately I had the bag kind of rolled up. So when I came back, they were liquid. They were gummy. It was just gummy, a bag of mixed, and that was brown. Now it was brown because all the colors mixed together. And so I was like, well, I mean, I'm not going to throw this away. I paid however much money it was for it, and I was an obstinate teenager. So I went and put them in the refrigerator. Come back a day later, peel the bag off, and I've got a sheet like 3/4 of an inch thick of brown, chewy, like just it was weird, man. Because all of a sudden it tasted fizzy, and I don't know why.
Oh,
That was.
You probably have cancer now.
I'll tell you this much: it was difficult to eat. So I just rolled the whole thing up,
Like a giant fruit roll up.
and it was like this. Like if you're watching the video, it was literally as big around as like a GameCube disc. And I just put the end of this thing in my mouth like a cigar and just proceeded to chew on it till my jaw hurt. It was the worst, best thing ever.
Yeah, melted candy's never good.
like one of those. Imagine eating one of those gigantic ass gummy bears.
Yeah, I see those, and it's like a one. You're talking about like the 1 pound gummy bears.
Yeah,
They're
the
up to 5
fucking
pounds
massive
now.
ones. Yeah.
I don't see how you get halfway through that and you just be like, I never want to go there ever again in my life.
That's like the life. Let me back up and punt because I'm stuttering here. That is the lifetime supply of gummy. Like you just the one and done. You bought it and you're never going to buy from us again.
Once I got it, it's gone instantly, and I want another one.
Just eat the whole 5 pound gummy bear in one go.
It's just that's what I'm gonna eat the next 2 days. Is that
Sit
fucking
there
gummy
and
bear?
gnaw on
I'm just gonna have it right in front of me
Like
at my
you're eating
fucking
a baby.
desk. Yeah.
Oh man. That's
And then
funny.
you're going to just overdose on insulin
yeah.
for the diabetes that you developed over that course of 2 days. Yeah, I mean, okay,
that.
more power to you, buddy. I've done similar things.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
you get a giant sugar-free gummy bear.
no, he's got a point there. But then the aspartame will rot your brain, right? 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 That what you're talking about?
Aspartame.
Anyway, thanks for calling in, Sherlock.
Good issue,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
The next person that calls in needs to actually do the "here's what I don't get" so I can play the ding ding ding.
And so now we have up Brandon of Maximum Panic. He's a pixel artist and a friend of mine.
Hey, Brandon.
Or we don't. He may still be muted.
He just rolled up and said, "Here's what I don't
Well,
get."
he joined the waiting room, so I assumed that he was ready.
Well,
Yeah, how's my audio?
Oh yeah, you sound good.
there you go. What's going on, buddy?
You guys hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I hear you great.
Can you hear us? Is our light turning? Yeah, we're turning green, so you should be able to hear us.
You got an issue for us today, buddy?
Yeah, okay, so this is my issue.
You got to do it
I'm
right.
not gonna say it.
You got to do it right.
Men,
Do it
collect
right.
We're interrupting you. He wants you to say, "Here's what I don't get," and then say it.
all right. I'm not a fan of the show, so I don't know your protocol.
Oh, I'm hurt.
I'm just joking.
I'm wounded, motherfucker. You can't delete this call.
I'm not deleting this call.
Okay, here's what I don't get. Grown men who collect toys.
Okay. I'm partially on board. Continue.
Okay, so my thing is I like it when people collect things. Like, if you are a collector and you invite me over to your house, I'm like the perfect person to visit because I will actually be interested in your collection. I want to examine every piece of it. And then when people collect cool things, I ask you questions. I think that's the fantasy of every collector, is just having somebody come over and
Also
actually be interested in
in
the
your
collection.
shit.
Someone that you
Yeah.
can brag to.
Like, for example, my mom collects spoons, and her spoon collection
It's
is cool.
very impressive.
Spoon is a good thing to collect because they look good on the wall. You got the wood case. They're silvery. They're mostly similar looking. They're mostly the same color, and it doesn't take up too much space. It's a good thing to collect.
Okay, yeah. I'm on board.
But these guys with these massive toy collections with like, oh, I collect Transformers, and there's everything has to be in the box for one, which I think is boring.
I think that's boring
you can't
too.
you can't arrange them on the shelf in interesting ways. You're like constrained to these advertising packages.
Your worship, they're idols at this point. They're just there for you to worship and jerk off to.
And they're not old enough. That's the other problem, is because you're like collecting stuff from like the 80s, which I don't think is old enough. Like if there was like toys from like the 40s and 50s, because then you get the interesting packaging and all that stuff, and it's better. But I don't know, like a guy collecting like Gundams or, God forbid, little toys of little anime girls. It's really off-putting.
It's really creepy too.
Yeah. Nothing
I
like.
mean, I definitely like. I think I mentioned in another episode where I still have a bunch of my Batman action figures, but I'm pretty sure they're all in a box. And I've got a handful of stuff that's like on display in my apartment on the shelves behind me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably fall into this category of guys who collect toys, grown men who collect toys, because I've got a shitload of Legos.
I mean, I've got a crate full of Legos, but I got them as a kid.
Yeah, I buy them still as an adult. I have my Lego VIP card, so.
Well, I mean, okay.
There's good and bad ways to do it. You know, I mean, I can think a Batman toy collection would be interesting.
Don't mollycoddle him. Shame him right now. Tell him he's a loser.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I like Batman. I know how much Tab likes Batman, like genuinely likes Batman. He could pull it off.
Yeah, I do genuinely like Batman, as people can see over my shoulder.
Yeah.
My
Now,
giant 4x4 picture of Batman.
I do have all of my old Ghostbusters toys from when I was a kid. They're up in my parents' attic.
I feel like it's different though when it's their toys from when you were a kid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Buying, like he was saying, like your Gundams and leaving them in their box, and you just have like a room that's creepily lined with just box toys. I also feel that it robs the toy of its purpose.
Yeah, you're not playing with it. Didn't anyone watch Toy Story?
Yeah.
They're sad, and they can't commit suicide because they're stuck in a box.
I think I've reconsidered. I think collecting toys is like growing a mustache. Like, you have to pull it off, and if you don't pull it off, you got to shave it off. Because you could collect Sailor Moon dolls, or you could collect something cool like Ghostbusters toys. You know, one's better than the other.
I mean, I am definitely biased towards what you're saying. I didn't grow up watching Sailor Moon. I'm not a weeaboo. But
I remember watching Sailor Moon, but I honestly couldn't tell you anything about it.
I was old enough to think it was weird.
Yeah, I thought it was on in the mornings, like on weekdays. There were some weekday cartoons that I put on while I was waiting for the bus, and that was just, you know, it's like I could either watch cartoons or I could watch the local news. So I put on the cartoons, and that was one of them. And I just remember that there was like a weird dance, and that's how they transformed into Sailor Moons.
Well, I mean, what I mean, I thought it was weird was I was old enough to be like, this makes me feel funny.
Oh,
like
yeah, I wasn't that old.
There's something, because you're in that age, like, I kind of want to, like, spank to this, but that's also not right. Like, I'm conflicted now. Then I grew out of it, thank God.
Yeah.
What else you got, man?
That's just it. Like, if you're a dude with a bunch of little anime girls on your shelf, like, that's
Hang
not
yourself.
okay. or Skylanders, you know, like.
Oh, I hate
like,
those new, like,
Skylanders and Amiibos, because they're so.
Amiibos.
They're designed to do that.
There's the Disney one where you have to. I hate the new video game thing now, where it's like you have to buy shit. You have to buy the video. You buy the video game, and then you have to buy shit to put in your house to go with the video game. Skylanders, you have to buy all those toys. There's the Lego game, Lego Dimensions. There's the Disney game that has all that shit.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
For every episode that we put out, and I'm going to go back and do all the other ones retroactively, I'm going to have some sort of little handmade collectible for all the issues so that you can collect, and they're going to be exorbitantly priced.
Yeah.
And we're going to sell collectibles for this show.
It sounds like a way to get into more debt.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And they should have little trigger handles that open and close the mouth.
Yeah.
See, I told you I'm a fan of this show.
Man, it still amazes me the legs that joke has gotten that I just came up with on the fly.
Yeah.
Fucking
Man.
grab your stick with a shark on the end.
I lowered the hook so I could get to it more easily this week.
No, what you need is like a scabbard that you have across your back.
Pull it out.
Just like whoosh-ah! Anytime you need to adjust your mirrors.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a quiver that you have for archery, like you just pull it out.
You also have a quiver around your back too. Anyway.
Turns out those aren't actually historically accurate. But anyway.
That was a great issue. Thanks for bringing that
There's
in.
one last thing to tie this in, and I'll be done. So to address the opposition, I'm pretty sure there's something. Well, what if I have kids? I mean, you could just say, "Oh, this is the kids' toy collection."
No, it's not.
That doesn't fly, because if you have a shelf full of packaged toys, that's like mocking the child. It's like, "Oh, look at all these wonderful things that you can't play with."
Dance, puppets, dance.
There was a guy that I worked for. He was the pastor of the church that I worked for, and he was really into Star Wars. And his office was like adorned with a bunch of toys, but none of them were none of them seemed like they were brand new. They were all out of the package, and they were like on his shelves and stuff. And it was the way that he personalized his office. He was kind of a weird guy.
That does weird me out when like especially youth pastors.
He wasn't a youth pastor.
I know, but like especially like a pastor who's either trying to remain relevant, which is a whole nother fucking rant for me about churches, and so they have some sort of weird, goofy shit to make you think like, oh, he's just a regular dude like me, but he can be the guy that stands between me and God and shows me how to get there.
Yeah, he had the display case. I think that were the toys that he had as a kid, including like an old Millennium Falcon thing.
My brother had that,
and then he had some of those like artifact statues that are like they're toys, but they look like they're pieces of they look like they're little busts of people. And I don't know. It was weird. It's like I don't know.
You're a man of God. Stop being stupid.
Stop being weird, dude. Anyway, that's a good issue. I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your program.
You too, man.
Thanks, man. All right, now we're gonna have Stig44 is here. Stig.
Hey, you guys hear me okay?
Oh man, yeah, your
audio's choppy, buddy.
Your audio is real choppy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
There's like it's a weird like.
How's your internet connection, man?
Fine. It's cable.
It's like really delayed. Are you on push to talk or are you on voice activity?
Internet connection is fine. Voice activities. Let me see if I can switch to push to talk.
It reminds me of when someone has a vibrato pedal for their guitar and it goes,
yeah.
Now I want to push to talk.
Same thing.
Yeah, it still sounds the same. Yeah, I don't know what I can do from my side. Where in the country are you?
New York City.
Oh, so we're on the same coast, so we should be hitting the same server.
That's weird.
Let's change this to U.S. Central. All right, talk now. Still the same.
New York.
I don't know what to do about this one, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this one either.
I want to hear your issue, but whenever you talk, we cannot make out what you're saying, buddy.
Just let me try logging out and logging back in.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't catch that much.
Logging out and logging back in.
This will require a good amount of editing.
Sanosuke 29999 says, "Did you ever jerk it to Deanna Troi?" I don't. Was it you and I that were no, I was talking about this on Discord the other day about how Deanna Troi is not attractive at all.
Can you guys hear me now?
It's slightly better.
Alright, what about now?
You know, we're still getting the same weird, echoey delay nonsense.
I'm going to try to reboot my machine real quick, and I'll jump right back on.
Sounds good. It sounds like the sample rate is getting weird.
Yeah, that it does sound like that. Let me
get back to your point about Deanna Troi, because I also have a point to make here.
I just never found her attractive at all. She's not. She's. It's like Gates. I never really found any of the TNG women particularly attractive, but Gates McFadden is like heads and shoulders above Marina Sirtis. I don't know. Just never really thought she was. And she's wearing this this spandex bodysuit for no reason.
Yeah.
Actually, I agree. I think Diana is better looking. How do I sound now?
Oh, you sound great.
That's infinitely better.
All right. Sorry to cut you guys off, but yeah, I completely agree. I think that Beverly Crusher was a much more attractive woman.
Yeah.
Well, she's a redhead for one. I mean,
but she filled out her jumpsuit a lot better than.
And Natasha Yar was just manly.
Yeah, Natasha Yar was manly.
But here's the thing about Deanna Troi. She would sometimes rock a pretty righteous camel toe.
That is true.
And
I was watching the episode I watched the other day. She came in and I was like, "Whoa!"
I'm learning gynecology right now. So as far as the answer to the question that was asked, I am going to plead the fifth on that one. But yeah, I'm pleading the fifth.
Yeah.
So what's your issue, buddy?
All right. Well, let's see how much time we have. But at least I'd like to get through 2 if that's okay with you guys.
Sounds good.
Knock it out. Just do it right.
Well, here's what I don't get. For my first issue, I don't get people who go to the gym to take selfies.
Oh my god.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I especially hate seeing them on the newsfeed. Like, oh, I'm at the gym. Oh, they've got their little video of them like doing pull-ups and shit. Like, just go fucking work out.
You know, everyone that goes to the gym is there for the same fucking thing. You're not special. Just do it.
Well, that's the thing. I go to the gym about 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm there to get a workout and get out. I'm not there to make friends or hit on anybody. Which I mean, I don't know. Whenever I see a guy trying to hit on a girl at the gym, I think it's kind of gross because it's like it's just not the place to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, the issue that I have is that I'll see, people using up machines that I want to use, but they're in there doing like 5 pounds and suddenly they're there for about a good 10 minutes, not doing anything. But then after about 10 minutes of them not exerting themselves, they start taking pictures of themselves. And I'm kind of like, come on.
I'm in my rotation. If you could move on, if you're not going to do anything with this.
Shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing was, for example, last week I was on the treadmill running, 2 miles, and the entire treadmill area is empty. But then this guy comes in and decides he has to go on the treadmill right next to mine. Yes.
What the fuck is the deal with that?
Yeah, the same. So everyone knows about in the men's room urinal etiquette. Treadmill etiquette is the exact same thing. If there's 10 treadmills and I'm on the one on the far left, you need to get on the one on the far right. Or not get on one at all.
I was in my gym in Oklahoma, and there's a media room, and then there's the rest of the gym. And the media room has 3 treadmills, and then the other treadmill area has like 8. And there was this weird guy on one of the treadmills in the regular area, and I go into the media room because it's like I'm getting as far away from you as humanly possible. There's not a tread unless I did a treadmill at home. There's no way I could be further away from you on this treadmill. So I'm again on the treadmill and I'm warming up before I go do anything else. And he gets off his treadmill in the treadmill area.
Oh no!
And comes into the media room and starts a workout on the treadmill right next to me. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly.
Like, you are on a treadmill. Why did you have to come into this room?
This is not a team sport. It's not a race. It's you go the fuck away. Go run in traffic, you weird son of a bitch. Get out of here.
So the Joker, not just, goes on the treadmill next to me. He fucking starts talking on his phone on a Bluetooth earpiece.
Oh my god, that's inconsiderate. I thought you were going to say he started talking to you.
No, I mean,
which is almost as bad.
Yeah. No, and I can tell the guy's from Spain because he has the Spain accent. Sure. And I'm like, and he's talking loudly. I'm basically doing like a 4 mile an hour jog. So I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm trying to like concentrate. I'm on my I'm at like a 1.5 mile point. So I'm like, kind of like, I'm getting winded. So I'm like, I need to get this guy away from me. So I have, I can either tell him off, which won't do anything because the guy looks to be in his 30s. And if he hasn't learned by now, he's not going to learn now. I could.
You can always shame somebody out of whatever they're doing.
But there's nobody else there to see him get shamed.
But you're going to shame him in his own mind. You're just going to yell at him and make him feel intimidated.
Maybe.
Well,
so
there's that.
So either that, or I could give him a pissy look and just go to the farthest, treadmill away from him. But I'm like, I'm already on this one.
Why am I going to interrupt my flow so that I don't have to be next to this asshole? Because that's what also pisses me off.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I say, okay, so his noise is bothering me. So you know what? I'm going to make more noise. So I bring up the machine to about like 6.5 miles an hour, and I start fucking stomp running.
There you go. High impact. Come on. Yes, I'm on board.
So I can hear him, and it's just like, from like just me, me pounding away on the treadmill, and I see him trying to talk louder, and like at this point, he's like trying to like scream over me, and I keep it up for about a good like 3 minutes, and finally the guy just gets pissed off and leaves. It was the best.
See, the next step is just to turn at him and go, ah, right in his fucking ear. Just wave your hands and yell at him until he walks away. Yeah. Or go into the maintenance closet and get a broom and then walk back over and stick it right between his legs while he's running.
That would be pretty funny.
Just break his fucking shins. Then you get that on video and you send that to YouTube and you make $1 million off.
Yeah, go viral.
Because I would watch that on repeat every day for the rest of my fucking life. Some dude pulling a Don Knotts on the treadmill and just like rolling Doge. Oh my god,
that'd be pretty perfect.
Yes, it would.
So yeah, that's here's what I don't get for the gym. So my second here's what I don't get is modern day dating. And I hate that this is an issue because this was not an issue when I was in like my late teens, early 20s. But now that I'm in my early 30s now, okay. I don't know. I think social media has kind of made people more retarded.
I agree. It makes you think that you are better than everybody else.
Well, yeah, it isolates you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, back when I had a couple of dates in high school that didn't go too well because they kind of ended after the girl said to me, I like hanging out with you, but when I'm with you, I feel like I'm with my dad.
Well, then bend over because I'm going to take off my belt and spank you right now.
So I've actually gotten that a lot of times in my life from different women. That like a variation of that line.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
I feel your pain. I've been there.
That was high school for me, so but then when I was 19, like my first like serious girlfriend, went all the way and everything. She was actually 10 years older than me, and we met at a party, right? And she was a teacher too. So what happened was that like all the relationships were normal. We would meet at a party or some kind of social gathering, and again, social, emphasizing on social. People have to leave their damn house, and there were no cell phones. This was like 2004, 2005.
There were cell phones, but there was no smartphones at that point.
Yeah.
And texting costed money.
And coincidentally, people were smarter.
Yeah.
So then, everything, meet a girl at a social gathering, and, eventually I'd ask her, hey, you want to hang out again? We'd hang out for a bit, or we'd go on a date, and then, things would happen. I'd be in a relationship for about a year or two. But now, most people, most people are more focused on, well, I live in New York City, so I think that kind of messes the trend.
Right.
People from New York are like, okay, so I got to stay in order with this. I don't want to, basically they want to meet through, online dating or some kind of online BS. And then the girls that I still meet, like I'll still go to parties, I'll still go to social gatherings, but then like, I'll go out with a girl and then she'll be like, hey, oh yeah, I have a fiance. And I'm like,
oh, why are we doing this?
Why am I here? Yeah. So I think that part of it is that, society has kind of put men in such a cucked position that women do not know how to deal with you unless you are a cuck.
Yeah, there's also, I think that it overinflates women's egos when you have something like Tinder or even, Match.com, where your entire scope on Tinder as a woman is just getting attention, just getting approached and being able to go no, and so they think that they are this desirable thing. Like, oh, I got 10 Tinder requests. Like, yeah, but you're a 4.
Well, see,
if you were 7, you'd get 20.
There's a word that has popped up in the online lexicon for this, and the word is thirsty. So there's a group that I'm a part of. I probably won't say the name of it, but there's hundreds of thousands of people in this group. They're heavily based on military service and drinking in equal proportion. I never did military service, but I do drink. So anytime a guy, like, I'll post in this group, not get a single fucking response. No one cares. Like a high 3 in a American flag bikini will post in this group, and it will, before 30 minutes are out, she'll have like 3,000 comments.
Wow.
That's
of guys beating each other off with sticks to lick her used bikini.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. That's what the internet's done, man.
I served in the military, so I will tell you that guys in the military, they are thirsty.
Well, I mean, but these are like guys that are back home, and they're just, like, it's more of an aficionado group. There's a lot of guys that a lot of guys and girls that have previously served, and they'll tell their stories, they'll post their memes or whatever. But yeah, like some homely girl will post, and it's always like the chick version of clickbait. I'll call it tit bait. They'll be like I had like they'll be wearing the low cut whatever, and they'll be pulling their arms together so their cleavage is popping up. They'll be like, I had a bad day. Somebody post something to cheer me up, and there's 4,000 guys with their cocks in their hands, like, "Hey, baby, what's your number? Nice tits." And and then
Jesus Christ.
And then the other half of the thread is just guys going, "Sure is a sausage fest in here. Every time some bitch like the MGTOWs show up, sure is gynocentric in this thread. Every time some girl posts, everybody comes out of the woodworks." And then there's the guys calling them out. It's this weird. It's a weird thing, man.
Yeah, so your self-actualization is tied to your image online, which is tied to how well you posture yourself in front of people.
But there's a crash. But there's a crash when that meets reality, because a lot of these women, you know, all their profile pictures are photoshopped to holy hell. You know, they're a lot older. Well, I've actually, you know, I went on a date with a girl who claimed she was 38, but then, you know, when we were there, she's like, "Oh, I'm a little bit older." I mean, she didn't look it. She didn't look older than 38.
Turns out I'm 70. You want to meet my great grandkids?
She was like 45.
I mean, yeah.
Just say you're 45.
Exactly.
That pisses me off when people, because you can just post an old picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can have a recent pic doctored up to make you look younger. They've got we talked about Face App.
Yep.
That's one of the things that thing will do. So you can present any still image you want. It's harder to edit video to make yourself look younger. It can be done. It requires more extra, but
I mean, you just add some filters. Chase Bailey said social media has turned everything into a big fucking event now. Nobody can do anything without documenting it and showing it on the internet. Like they're recording it for history and posterity.
Yeah,
I went to the grocery store. #blessed.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that a couple guys would just get together and drink whiskey and sit in their basement and shoot the shit.
And now you got to send some fucking photo of like your whiskeys and whatever you're watching on TV.
And then you record it and you call it a podcast. And you have people call into you. I mean, I'm
only one person today is drinking whiskey, by the way.
Well, I didn't drink much either, but I'm poking fun at us is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I agree with your issue, man. That's
both of them.
Yeah, both of your issues. Good issues, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for calling in. We don't have anybody queued up right now.
Yeah, so keep talking.
No, we'll let him go.
All right, living in New York now.
Thanks for calling, man.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
I mean, that's fairly successful, I think.
Took a while to get going, but yeah,
once we
got moving.
I don't know. What do you think? Like maybe 5 more minutes. Anybody in the YouTube stream that wants to call in, feel free. I don't know. What else can we shoot some shit about?
So, the women in TNG weren't that hot.
Yeah.
But, you get to Voyager. What's her name?
7 of 9?
Yes, her, but not her, the other one.
Kess?
Yeah, I thought she was pretty damn cute.
Meh. Have you seen her now?
Did you see her by the end of the series?
Well, they cut her out in season 3, so...
Yeah. She showed back up, and she was like...
She showed back up, she was
like
a lot
Hillary
thicker.
Clinton, yeah.
And now she looks like a fucking psycho.
Does she?
Yeah.
Time makes fools of us all.
Voyager definitely had some hot chicks, and then when they did Enterprise, they ramped the sex factor up. They're like, we're gonna cast a Vulcan, and we're gonna put her in a skin tight leotard, and then we invented this new
pouty
thing
lips
called Decon, and in the Decon room they're lit in blue, and they get down in their underpants and they rub KY jelly on themselves, and nobody at any point in time was like, this sounds like the stupidest thing ever. Like, well, why did it? And they justify it. She's like, well, why does this exist? Like, well, they're not using the transporters, and the transporter had a thing that would do a biofilter that would decontaminate you as it happened. But they're landing in shuttle, so they have to go through some kind of decontamination. And
everything has to be a massage now.
Now they're in their underpants. They're getting massaged.
That's how we're going to grow this podcast. Is we're going to hire some chicks dressed as Vulcans to rub us down in oil.
I think that we should just have them rub each other down, and that'll be the video content. They're rubbing each other down, and there's just no video of us at all.
Yeah, because people get weirded out by video of us anyway.
Yeah, they can't tell the difference between the two of us. TOS, the TOS uniforms, still hot. Yeoman Rand, she had it where it counts, and that's why Majel Barrett had her kicked off the show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was in the first half of the first season, and then Majel Barrett, who was Roddenberry's mistress, was like, I don't want any hot women around him all the time, so she had him fire her. But then she pops back up. She popped up in some movies, and she ended up popping up as one of the officers on the Excelsior in Flashback, which is kind of fun.
Are there going to be any hot chicks in the new one, or is it going to be all fat, ugly feminists?
No, there aren't any hot chicks in any of the previews yet. There's a goofy-faced alien. There's Draco Malfoy's dad. There's the chick from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon who's old, and then there's...
Which one? The
I don't know.
Suyin?
I've never seen it. And then there's the main character whose name is Michael Burnham, and she has a stupid haircut.
Yeah.
And that's what we know so far.
That sounds absolutely miserable, and I hate it. I'll tell you another show from the 90s that had a couple of hot characters. That was Earth 2. I've talked about it once or twice.
Yeah.
The main character, Devin Adair, Deborah, whatever the fuck her name was, at the time, pretty hot.
Yeah.
Even though she was a little bit older. She was like in her 40s. What she looks like now, no clue. Don't want to look it up. And the little girl, I found this out. This broke my heart, man. I found out the little girl in that show, True, the actress that played her, dead now. Been dead for a while.
That sucks.
She died at like 21. She just got married, went on her honeymoon, had some sort of heart problem, and checked out.
Bummer, dude.
That fucking blows, man.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah. That's a good downer to end the show on.
Yeah, that is a good downer to end the show on.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone who called in. We got to do this again, man.
Yeah, we do.
So I guess for tonight, this has been Here's What I Don't Get.
I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Uncle Buck.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.